Hello, here is a 3 handicap game played in the Osaka League where white won by resignation, and the key of this game was the invasion on the bottom side where white managed to erase all the potential inside the moil. So let's have a look. 3-4 in the top left corner, that's good. Black plays the high approach, and now we see a very rare pincer. Usually the tight one at g17, it's more common. And this low and far pincer used to be popular a few years ago, but only for a short while, and it's rarely seen in professional games these days. So what black should consider here, instead of this attach, it's common to play a keima like d14 and put pressure. But this can lead to a very complicated variation because white usually will cut like this, and the whole plan for playing h17 is to give up the stone in a ladder and just Atari and connect underneath. And this makes black's Ponuki feel a little bit over concentrated because black has an extra stone here instead of just 4 stone to capture the Ponuki. But well, this is not going to happen because black can play with more fighting spirit and descent, and now we have this kind of follow-up, which is really complicated. So this can be a Joseki, but as we can see, lots of white stones are floating on the outside, even though white managed to settle the top left corner. So h17 is not a move I would recommend. But when you play a move like g17, there are also lots of complicated Josekis, but the idea with g17 is that you can connect under at e17 in case your opponent plays a one space jump, for example. And usually the middle rank Q players, they tend to play this kind of jump just to escape from the corner, so next you just connect underneath. Now if the players are more advanced, they think about the Tsuke in the corner, the San to separate, or one space jump towards the second line, or simply Kosumi to make sure white is not going to connect underneath. But even so, white will just develop on both sides when you play this kind of Josekis. And it's nice because in a handicap game you want to develop faster. So g17 more often used than h17. Now black played the attach in the corner, which is quite fine for white. And in fact this move, it's also pretty normal for black, but black doesn't have a nice extension at h17 anymore because it occupies, so his only option is to jump out. Then white extends towards the corner. Now for white on the left side, it's quite big to play a move like d13 to get ahead in order to prevent the c14 move. So black will push from behind, white goes no b, and this is a nice territory coming up in the top left corner. Then of course black can counter pincer in the top. So probably that's why white decided to attack the top right corner instead. Well, another option here is to play the p first, and when black connects, just extend c13. So this makes black group a little heavy. Now black will either jump or go for a base, and white also has time to extend for his base in the top. But in this case, black can think about c14 to put pressure on the top left corner, and that happened. Now playing b18, it's a little bit painful to leave like that, but also b14 will be painful. But normally white should push out one time, black will no b, then hane in the corner and just connect. This is the way to make I shape. It's more I space if you play the hane, c18 and then connect b18. Sometimes it's important to play hane and then descent, and if your opponent blocks, you play the hanging connection, so it's clear I shape in the corner. Playing this move, maybe the meaning is to prepare a monkey jump, but anyway you don't need a monkey jump in that area because you already have h17. And the problem is black can block b14 in center, so you still need to turn, black will block again, and then you have to go down in order to make twice. So you have a 4 in line, but it's a very painful life. It's just 4 points, then black can pincer in the top. So black extended on the side, now white is center. Double approach, very good. Then san. Now here for black it's block to block, it's bad to block either side. So if he goes here or he goes in the top, there is no middle side extension. Therefore, black should consider q13 shoulder hit. because in this case black can develop the right side where it's more open space. So when white defends in the top, black will block like this, then a hanging connection. It's really a neutral point for black to go for q17, so very good to connect. And normally here black should go out p13. Now white can extend either ogema or two space jump, and the wall is completely meaningless because it's facing white stones in the top. So black played Keima to put pressure, but this shape it's already too over concentrate. So white can go q15 here. This is threatening the cut, so when black connects, it's already a pretty bad shape, and then the extension at l17. This is what happened in the game, but it's good to have the exchange at q15 in place, because it forces black into a bad shape, and many times black will go for the good shape, which is a connection, but it also allows the link underneath, so that's not effective. But this move is nice because it gives a base in the top, and when black separates, white can still use the agi of o17. But why shouldn't Hane in the corner? The way to use the agi is to play a Kosumi like this, and now you either connect to the top right or to the top left. So when black separates, it works to link under like this. If black goes down, then you connect under in the corner. So all of a sudden, black is losing the base and the group is still on the run. So black needs some move like this to connect against the cutting points. Otherwise, if black plays here, for example, white will push and cut. And now it starts to be troublesome. So Hane and connect, and black got a pretty nice shape here. I mean, once white discarded o17, black is pretty much alive. And there was really no, not so urgent to play q18 and r18 for white. So here, white played a little bit hasty. Therefore, remember p18, but for now you can just leave it, because there are bigger points out there like f3 or split the bottom side. So, now white is cente. Yeah, it's interesting to go on the bottom or to approach f3, but I think something like that happened and black played a pincer. Normally, black just defends, white can slide and extend for a base or invade the corner. Also, the split is fine, because if black attacks from the left side, white can still come in at c4. So first, a two space extension, black defends, then you reduce the moy on the left side. So we have an inside approach, then another approach. Yeah, obviously white's plan here is to go for a nice moy on the bottom, but black play with fighting spirit, just pincer and don't allow that nice framework. So white goes for double approach, which is fine. Attach, Hane, San. Black blocks the bottom because he wants to build more in this area. Black can also block the left side and then either cut or play Atari under. And now white will also fix this other stone. Therefore, yeah, black chose the good direction to play to set up a large moy on the bottom side. So far so good. This turn is very good too, because the Atari is painful next to d18. Sorry, d8. Then white played a move on the right side, but the bottom stones are in danger. So here white should think about k5 to see whether black will go for the stone on the left or the stone on the right. So this is already a good exchange. Then you can continue with an attach and a crosscut in order to make a sabaki. If black connects, you just Atari and you have the hanging connection. So damage is done. Now when black plays this Atari, you can ignore it, because anyway the corner is safe. Black might defend here, so he doesn't play another move inside. But if black captures a stone at c7, it's not such a big deal. And now you can slide this way. The Atari you can accept, black defends, and then you attack from the right. Or when black extends here, you just take the corner. So already, the moyo, it's kind of vanished. So why should consider the cap move right away? Normally this nobi here is very important and big, but if you don't want to allow black get a very nice moyo, you need to cap here immediately, especially because it's a handicap game. So when this approach is played, black can defend the corner at q2, and now this loses more power for white. I mean, this o3 has no base. So therefore, r8 it's a little bit questionable. And black can also play the kick at p3 and then take away the base with m3 or play a one space jump at p6. Because now when white defends the right side, black can attack the bottom. When white plays something on the bottom to go out, let's say like this, to fix this group, then black will invade the right side. So many good scenarios for black, but black played the two space jump here to enclose the box. Actually, these two stones in the corner, they are quite thin, so for black it's nice to enclose the corner q2, and when white comes out, then this induces the jump on the bottom to enclose the box, and white is still on the run. Then of course black can also invade the right side. So black did a two space jump, white goes in the corner. In this case, it's a little better to play q2 and then extend m3, because this shape in the corner is not that strong and white already has a base on the bottom. Another option is to play q3 and hane, so you want to hold on to your o3 stone. Of course black can choose the atari and push through, and then we have this kind of joseki, but this way white lives in the corner and there is still aji on the outside. And of course black can also think about the basic joseki where he connects, then goes down, white extends for a base, but now black doesn't have space to extend on the right because there's already a stone at r8, so he either turns in the corner or jumps in the middle to stay safe. And this way white can also protect the right side. So when you go san-san, obviously black will separate all the way and keep building the moe on the outside, but here he doesn't need to play the keima. It's good enough to play r5, and when white pushes like this, the hane works to separate, because when you cut, he will just give one stone and kill the corner. So white is not going to cut, white will pull back, then black defends. And now if white cuts here, atari and net, or net right away. And there's also a problem with the stone at r8, so white needs to no be here. But for black it's sent to descend on the first line, threatening the corner, white needs to protect, then it's easy to invade the right side. But this can come later as an endgame. Right now, black will increase the moe. So black just keima, white does the same, expand the right side, expand the bottom even more. This nob is good to prevent the atari. It's good for white to be patient like this, especially when giving handicap. Well, here white didn't gain so much from these pushes. Yeah, that's a problem. Normally you want to push again and create more cutting points, but black will play a double hanging connection. Then you gotta peep once. The group is alive. Push one time is good too, so you prevent the block in center, and there's a cutting point in the middle. Black might answer like this or a jump, then come out from the top. Taking the two stones is not so great because black got all these 4C moves, and now black shouldn't block because already the group is alive taking the two stones, so it's more interesting for black to play a Kosumi and put pressure on the top two stones. Now this block was slack, so white got the Kosumi, the peep in center, and then jump out. So this feels quite easy for white in the top. Now black jumps here, white encloses the right side, that's good. Now the right shape is to play keima towards the middle, because if black pushes and cuts, you just atari and connect. So those stones are connected, and this keima reduces a lot of the potential black has in the top right. Playing this jump is just to secure, but black can press down here one time, and then he should secure the moe. Actually, this block is center, so it's easy now for black to reduce the right side, because black has the follow-up in center on the first line, and then reverse monkey jump to reduce the side. So all those moves are center for black. Then on the bottom side, black can just descend or enclose the moe with another move like this. Because even if white plays d18 in center, black is still going to build a lot on the bottom side. So back to the original game, keima to expand the middle. White is trying an interesting way to get inside. But so far so good, black didn't have any problem staying connected here. But instead of this capture, black should block and capture with snapback, because the two stones are already they are not going to escape. And when black plays the block here, he's threatening the double Atari. So if white connects, black can hit the vital point like this and make sure everything dies. If white plays something here, black has the double Atari and doesn't allow I shape. So when black captured the two stone like this, was a little bit slack. Now white is trying to use the RG inside to leave. Here it's a bit safer for black just to go up. And now even if white managed to leave inside somehow, let's say white will play these moves and black surrounds, then white gets to leave like this. Black still builds a lot on the outside, so white managed to erase this area, but the bigger box is still for black. But black tried to kill everything and failed, and that was super expensive. So here black can cut, then capture a stone, Atari from the outside, take this guy and surround. White again, it's alive on the bottom, but black gets to keep most of the other side of the moyo. Another option is to play Atari here and then either extend or cut. And now this will lead to a trade. Very similar to the game, but at least black can still hope in some territory in the middle. Anyway, the fighting spirit is to Atari and capture this stone. Or simply Nobi up. Usually when Tsuke, you just go Nobi. Hane it's an option too, Hane under, to remove the base, but in this case white will counter Hane. And again, we have some cutting points, then black needs to protect, white will catch one stone and leave very comfortable inside. So if you go back a few moves, here is the key. If black captures the two stones in a snapback, it's more pressure on the white group. So even if white tries these moves, it's not so easy to create the I shape. Not enough space. This is already dead. One eye only. So ouch, everything could die inside. But black failed. So now black can capture some stones. Actually, black can put pressure here, then like this, and just leave it. Focus in the top now. Because this can still build a pretty impressive box in the middle. But already territory-wise, white got a lot. All the corners and then the bottom and a little bit in the top. So if nothing dies, I think white has the first chance to win this game. So that was expensive. Actually here, black can cut and white has to go down to save his stones. If white plays some other move, black descends and there is no way to capture. Yeah, in fact here, it's better to double up like this. Because when black covers, you just Nobi, so you have more space. Anyway, this group will leave. That's fine. And push. Oh, interesting. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Oh, wow. Yeah. But the cut is not that dangerous. Black will just push and separate those stones. So now white has to come back and make sure the bottom is safe. Like this. Keep the ice. Then the group in the middle will be in trouble. Empty triangle, that's painful. So the way to leave on the bottom, it's not L1. You can just play G2. Black needs to connect the 3 stones. And then you make another eye in the center. So when when black plays all these forcing moves, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points life, not just 2. But it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, this is obvious that white is ahead and all the moyo disappeared after that life inside. So pretty good game for white, except the top left corner where things could go a little better, and capturing those 2 stones was gote and not so big, but the key in this game was to erase the bottom moyo. So well done on that one, and hopefully we will see more wins giving handicap next time.